into that?
The principle of sowing and reaping, it applies to our finances too.
Okay, but what if we give and we don't see those blessings come back?
It's not always an instant transaction. Sometimes there might be other things we need to address.
Like what?
Maybe a heart issue, a lack of forgiveness, or maybe even a misunderstanding of what true generosity really looks like.
So it's not just about throwing money at a problem.
It's about a heart posture,
Okay,
aligning ourselves with God.
this is really making me think differently about giving. It's not just about money. It's about being generous with our time, our talents, even just our words and actions.
You've got it. It's about recognizing everything we have as a gift. True joy comes from using those gifts to bless others.
To build the kingdom.
Exactly.
Okay, because letting go of my stuff is hard. You know, my resources, my money, my time. Any practical tips for making that shift?
Start small. Maybe give a few extra dollars to a cause you care about or volunteer your time.
Just little acts of generosity.
Exactly. And as you do that, you'll start to experience the joy of giving.
And let go of that scarcity mindset.
Embrace the abundance of the kingdom.
Okay, so it's a process of trusting God more and more with what we have.
Trusting Him with everything. And you know what? As we surrender to Him, He multiplies our resources in ways we can't even imagine.
Wow, this deep dive is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
We've covered so much: the priority of the kingdom, God's laws, the keys, citizenship, and now giving.
We've just scratched the surface of this book.
That's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too. They
Yeah.
open up a whole new world of exploration.
And leave you wanting more.
Always wanting more.
So if you're listening and this is resonating with you, I highly recommend checking out Kingdom Principles for yourself.
Yes. It will challenge your assumptions and equip you to live out these principles
In a practical way.
in your everyday life.
Okay, so we're coming up on the end of our time here, but before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your final thoughts. What's one key takeaway from Kingdom Principles that our listeners can really chew on?
You know, one thing that really struck me is this idea that if the Bible is the constitution of the kingdom, we should treat it less like a rule book and more like a treasure map. It's not just about following the letter of the law, it's about discovering the heart of the king.
That is so good. It's about seeking the heart of the king. I love that. And, you know, that makes me think, what would it look like if we approached every situation in life, every challenge, every decision, with that mindset, seeking the heart of the king? That's something I'm going to be pondering for a while.
Me too. It's a powerful concept.
It is. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
And to our listeners, keep seeking truth, keep diving deep, and keep embracing the adventure of kingdom living. Okay, so giving is a kingdom principle.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah,
what?
it is.
It's a touchy subject for a lot of us.
Yeah, for sure.
You work hard for it. You want to make sure your family's taken care of.
Right.
And just the idea of giving it away can feel a little scary sometimes.
Especially in today's world, you know?
Right.
You're told to save, accumulate.
Look out for number one.
Yeah, prioritize your own financial security.
It's that me first mentality.
Exactly. But that's not the kingdom way.
So how does giving work in the kingdom?
Well, remember we were talking about kingship, lordship. The king owns everything. So giving, it's not about us giving up something we own.
Okay.
It's more like returning a portion of what already belongs to the king.
Oh, I see. So it's an act of acknowledging God's ownership.
Yes. And it's an act of worship, an expression of gratitude for everything he's given us.
That makes sense. But it's still hard, you know? When I'm struggling financially, wouldn't it make more sense to hold on even tighter to what I have?
I know, but Dr. Munroe says that when we give, we actually activate the king's generosity.
Wait, are we talking about like give money and you'll get more money?
Yeah.
That always felt a little manipulative to me.
No, not at all. It's not about manipulating God. It's about aligning ourselves with the principles of the kingdom.
Okay.
And one of those principles is sowing and reaping.
That applies to our finances too.
Yes. It's about tapping into that flow of abundance.
Oh, okay. So it's not about giving to get, but about giving from a place of gratitude
Exactly.
and trusting that God will take care of us.
Trusting the king.
But what if we give faithfully and our finances don't improve?
Remember those keys we talked about? Sometimes there might be other doors we need to unlock.
You mean there might be other issues we need to address?
It could be a heart issue, a lack of forgiveness, or even a misunderstanding of what true generosity really is.
So giving is more than just money.
It's about a posture of the heart.
Okay. It's really making me rethink this whole idea of giving. It's not just about money, is it? It's about being generous with everything. Our time, our talents, our words, our whole lives, really.
That's exactly it. It's about recognizing that everything we have is a gift from God.
And that true joy comes from using those gifts to bless others.
To build the kingdom.
Okay, so we're seeing giving in a new light, not an obligation, but an opportunity
Yes.
to partner with God. But, letting go of our stuff, our resources, it's hard.
It can be. Absolutely.
Do you have any tips for how to actually make that shift?
Start small. Give a few extra dollars to something you believe in. Volunteer your time.
Just little acts of generosity.
Exactly. And as you experience the joy of giving, it becomes easier
To let go of that scarcity mindset.
to embrace the abundance of the kingdom.
So it's a journey of trusting God.
With everything.
And as we surrender to
He
Him,
takes care of us.
this has been such an amazing deep dive. We've covered so much. The kingdom, God's laws, those keys, citizenship, and now giving. I feel like my mind is overflowing with new ideas.
Me too. And the amazing thing is, we've just scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn.
Always more to explore in the kingdom.
So if this conversation has resonated with you, definitely check out Kingdom Principles for yourself.
It's such a powerful book.
That's a game changer for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. And to everyone listening, keep seeking truth, keep diving deep, and keep embracing that adventure of kingdom living.